Welcome back to another episode of Little Pop Stars Podcast.
In this episode, we're going to be talking to August James about his new EP, Venison Forever.
Red bandana around your head, Montana riverbeds are keeping you awake.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm excited to talk.
Yeah, we're excited to talk to you about your music and your upcoming EP.
I love
Uh,
the tape behind you.
yes, we're big fans of Tate here.
Likewise.
So
Um,
every episode we like to start off with a little pop quiz where we just ask you some fun and quick questions.
Cool.
Okay, so who is an artist you really want to collaborate with?
I mean, boring answer, but Lord, I don't think she really collabs like that. But
well, I mean, she did with Charlie, I guess.
Yeah.
true, true. Yeah, I gotta do this track first, I guess.
Yep. What is your favorite food?
I really like cucumber rolls, just like rice and cucumber and seaweed. Also kind of boring, but I don't know, just like such a little like good midday snack, I feel like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
Where would be your dream venue to play at?
I mean, like SoFi Stadium or something like that, just like a massive stadium,
Mhm.
MSG. I'm from St. Paul, Minnesota, and there's this venue there, or in Minneapolis actually called the Armory. It's just like our big, like, or like our mid-sized venue, and I like grew up going to shows there, so I think that'd be a cool,
Mhm.
like, full circle moment.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
would.
nice. Where is your favorite vacation spot?
I went to Barcelona last year, and that was pretty awesome.
Nice.
Nice.
What is your favorite music genre?
Pop music, 100%.
And is there a song that changed your life?
I mean, for some reason, the first thing that's coming to mind right now is Moon Song by Phoebe Bridgers. Just like it's kind of, I feel like that was I heard in 2020 was when I like really started writing music,
Mm-hmm.
or I mean, like seriously, and I think that that song like changed the way I thought about how music was written.
Nice. Okay, the pop quiz is over.
Hopefully I
So
pass.
you passed.
Good, good.
So now we'll kind of start talking a little bit about your like music and your processes. I feel like a lot of your songs are very much like when you listen to them, it feels like you are wherever like the location is that you're writing about.
Totally.
Um, is there like certain artists that have inspired your more visual lyrics?
Definitely. I think the main person is Caroline Polachek, like specifically her last album, had like a lot of like setting information. Like even the first song is like called Welcome to My Island, and it just kind of like brings you right into the world. And that was really exciting to me. And I knew I wanted to like try to make that a big part of my project, especially like with an EP when like you don't have as much time to kind of like establish your like overarching vibes. I wanted to make sure like I hit it really hard on the tracks that I did have. So that's why it was really important to me to like have that like sense of place.
Yeah.
Nice. And when did you start doing covers versus writing your own music?
Hmm. I definitely wrote my own music first. I feel like covers, I don't love like doing covers honestly, but I don't know, they tend to like perform decently on like social media and stuff. So I
Yeah.
thought I would do a cover honestly.
How do you decide like which parts of your songs to include like electronic sounds in?
Yeah, I feel like I started producing before I started like writing music. And so like to that end, I was always super intrigued by the fun sounds I could make. And like I started by making like trap beats and stuff like that. So I
Hmm.
think that like when I started writing music and I like was gravitating towards more like singer-songwritery tones, I didn't I was like still had my like old producer sensibilities in terms
Mhm.
of like the electronic components. I really never would want to like release a song that was like just a straight guitar. track or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. I
Mm,
mean, like even though I feel like I've gotten close, but like I always want to like have there be funky production elements or like something to take it, one step left of center.
mm.
Yeah.
And who are the artists that like have influenced you when producing?
From a production standpoint, gosh, so many. I mean, I'll just most boringly, Jack Antonoff. Just, I mean, I hate to say it, but like he's just to me really like pop producer 101. Lately, I've really liked this guy Rob Milton who does like all of Holly Humberstone stuff.
Okay.
And like Chloe Qisha, I think is her name. She's like coming up right now. She's a great pop
Yeah.
artist. He's been doing all of her stuff. So I really love like I think he to me like most hits the like balance between the like singer-songwriter folky tones and like the synthy or poppier stuff. Like he really finds a middle ground in a way that I really strive to in my music.
Mm.
That's
Yeah.
where he's like my dream like session.
Yeah.
I'm always DMing him on Instagram.
Sing, I will think of then distant prairie eyes, skipping western skies, then running off alone again.
How has like your songwriting processes changed as you've started releasing more music?
I think the biggest thing that's changed is just that it's become like less of an individual process. Because like before, I would pretty much like always like make a instrumental first, like make a beat basically, and then like write on top of it. And I still do that, but now a lot of my writing happens like in sessions with other producers and writers. And like then it's a lot more like sit down with a guitar and like, kind of like write it out and then produce it. So it's kind of like flipped it on its head, honestly, but I feel like it's totally unlocked different writing methods. Like I feel like I've totally like grown as a songwriter since like expanding to like writing in different ways. And I still like will come back and like in my room and write by myself too. So I feel like it's just
Yeah.
expanded my palette as a songwriter.
Mm.
Nice. And your upcoming EP, Venison Forever, that's quite a interesting title.
Yeah,
How
Mm.
did you
controversial
decide
among
on that title?
Well, I had a couple of titles that I was tossing around. I really like titles to be like lyrics from a project, but like not song titles from a project. Like I think it's so fun to be
Hmm.
like
Mm.
listening to an album or something like that, and then you just like hear the lyric that is the
Yeah.
title. I did that for my last EP too, and I knew that I wanted to do that if I could, but uh,
Mm.
I was just having a hard time finding what lyric felt the best. Had another title for a long time, but Venison Forever is a lyric. The full line is it's like about I'm like hunting in this verse, I'm like hunting with like this guy and like whatever. And I say like I'd eat venison forever just to keep you here. I liked it because I thought it was like kind of first of all felt really connected to like the place as we were talking about because I feel like a lot of this record feels
Mm.
like it's in like the Midwest, the forest, like
Hmm.
Yeah.
country. So it felt in line with that. And then also it felt kind of like it had like that yearning quality that like I strive for in a lot of my music because um I don't know, like I'd eat venison forever. I don't know if you guys are like big venison, have you eat a lot of venison. It's not like
Not too
good.
much.
Uh-uh.
It's kind of like why I wanted to do it too, because I thought it was kind of like funny and like
Mm.
a little bit like off kilter and because like venison, it's not like it doesn't taste good or like it's kind of like a bad vibe.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of why I wanted to do it.
Interesting. Cool.
Yeah. And how would you say this EP differs from your first EP?
I mean, I think it's better.
Mm.
Um, I think it's just sonically more cohesive. I made it like with the intention of making a project. That EP I love, but I just made it like I wasn't thinking I was making an EP. Like I was just making songs, releasing them. And like at that point, music was super duper casual to me. I mean, like not like it's, some kind of like major thing now, but like I
Mhm.
wasn't like really pursuing it super seriously. I was just like making stuff, throwing it up. And then like I basically packaged it together with an EP. Like I only made two or three of those songs with the intention of like making the EP. Whereas this one, I was like really like went into the writing process, like feeling like I was trying to make a project. And I feel like you can hear that because It's just like sonically, lyrically, way more cohesive, I think.
Hmm.
And just like made more professionally. So I think that that's like it just feels like next level. Not like
Mm.
next, oh, this next level. It's like it's like it definitely feels like kind of like a step forward.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, for
For
sure.
sure.
And you talked about how it kind of has those like Midwest sounds, and I mean, every song kind of is almost like different parts of nature and different places. How, this is kind of a big question, but how does nature like influence your music?
It's funny because I think that like I do end up writing a lot about like nature and it's like a big become a kind of a big part of my like general like aesthetic.
Hmm.
But I'm definitely not like a big nature. It's not like I don't know, I'm not like I don't like love going on hikes or something like that. So I don't really know like why exactly I'm drawn to it. I think like it's very connected to like my childhood. Like my parents met like in on like this wilderness trip and like
Mhm.
I feel like I definitely just grew up around that vibe and
Hmm.
like some of my like most core memories, specifically like kind of romantically what I'm talking about are like just kind of tied to those images. So I think that that's why I gravitate towards it. I also think it just goes pretty well with like the sonic qualities that I'm going for
Right.
and
Mhm.
like visually kind of like what it allows me to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I think otherwise it's just like instinct. I don't know. It's interesting. Like I wish that I could write about like I hear people writing about I don't know like their iPhone or something. I wish like I kind of wish I was like writing that like more day to day or like 21st century things. But like
Mm.
I don't know, it just doesn't not what comes out. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mhm. And do you have a place like in nature or somewhere else that you find yourself doing your best work?
I'm definitely not in nature.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever like gone outside and like wrote. Honestly, just like my bedroom or like
Mm.
wherever I can be like comfortable. I love writing in other like studios too. And like as long as I have like a comfy couch, then I feel like I can be locked in.
And do you prefer to like write by yourself or with other people?
Lately, I prefer to write with other people. I feel like for a long time I like protested that and I was like, no, like this is my music and like
Hmm.
I need to be, especially because I feel like a lot of times I try to strive for like some like real specificity and stuff in my writing, but now I kind of love like having something to bounce ideas off of and um just another perspective, at least just to like help you make the rhymes work.
Yeah, yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. And in your EP, like I notice EDM and Big Bear is quite a bit shorter than some of your other songs. I don't know if that's like more intended to be an interlude or if it's just like a shorter song. I was wondering like how you decide when a song has reached like the length
Hmm.
you want it to be.
Yeah, that one, it's funny. It's actually labeled, I think like on the whatever we sent you guys, it was just like EDM and Big Bear, but on the project, it is actually labeled EDM and Big Bear Interlude.
Okay.
And like I was going back and forth on that because I kind of like it when like they're like an interlude, like quote unquote, isn't labeled. It's just like a song
Uh-huh.
that functions as an interlude. But I think it just makes more sense to have it labeled like that. In terms of like when I know a song is done, I think it just feels you just feel like it's written. I don't know, like I'm writing that song. I like went into the that session with the first verse, and then we just like I don't know, we just that's just how it came out, I guess. And like
Yeah.
maybe we could have revisited it and like oh, there's a bridge or something like that. But just like when I stop feeling like I want to say more, then it's done, I guess.
Yeah.
Uh,
Nice. And would you say collaborating with others on this EP has been different from your other EP and songs?
yeah, definitely. I mean, my old before this, nobody had like my music, like I was the only one who ever like touched it or like even heard
Mhm.
it before it would like come out. So
Yeah.
like this has been a totally different experience to have like multiple people like on like writing, production, mix, master, like everyone kind of like listening to it and like it's been tough in one way because everyone has like their take, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And like sometimes I found it, especially at the beginning, like I found it kind of hard to like balance like sticking by my guns and like kind of leading the charge artistically, but also like understanding that a lot of these people have smart things to say and
Yeah.
like probably know what they're talking about. So that was like a learning curve,
Mhm.
but now I think it's really benefited me.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Before we talk about like some other artists, is there anything else about this upcoming project that you want to talk about?
I mean, it's out on April 25th. I think it's cool if you're any fans of like somebody called it somebody commented on something yesterday and said like tr if Troye Sivan made folk music, and I was like into that. And so
I
yeah,
like that. I
Yeah.
think that's a good way to describe it for sure.
Mhm.
Do you have like any small artists that you really like or think we should give a listen to?
totally. I have so many. There's this girl, Khatumu, who's like having her moment right now. She has a song like Hunting Days that's like doing really well on TikTok. But she's just the sweetest. We've written actually like the next song after the EP, she helped write. And like she's like the most talented. Like you, when you're just like being in the room with her, you can tell that like she is like going to be like massive and just like
Hmm.
Mhm.
um so like I'm really everyone should definitely check out Khatumu. Also love
Mhm.
like I don't know, Grace Enger. I mean she's kind of getting bigger now. She's so sick though. Like
Mhm.
Jake Minch, just like looking at my Spotify. There's so many like indie like little indie folk kind of pop adjacent
Mhm.
artists that like are just like so I'm just like waiting for that sound to like really, really have its moment. I mean, like it obviously has been, but I think that like I really hope that there's like a real like kind of like moment for that because there's just like so many small artists who I feel like
Yeah.
are really, really like grinding in that space.
Mhm.
Um, and like I just want everyone to like I want us all to blow up because it's also like
Yeah.
fun in LA. Like I really like found a like community among like some of the people who are like making similar music and like in the kind of like in the same hustle and they're all just so cool. So
And like when it comes to you like doing folk and then like electronic kind of combining that, are there artists that you listen to that kind of do that? Because I don't think I know of too many that like combine those two
totally.
genres.
I mean, it's tough because like yeah, I might say like Holly Humberstone is like somebody who comes to mind, but like really her music isn't. It's just pop music. But I think just like the way it's produced has like some interesting like folky sensibilities. I mean, Bon Iver, I think, is like somebody that people point to a lot as like somebody who's been able to combine like the electronic and like folk elements. But I think like I definitely want my music to feel like pop music. Like I don't want it to feel like um oh like this is like an interesting take on folk music. Like that's
Hmm.
definitely like not the vibe that I'm like going for, I would say. So in other words, I guess like I feel like I'm influenced by a lot of folk artists and a lot of pop artists, but yeah, like I think that there's not like a huge space of intersection and
Yeah.
like trying like I've been really trying to find like the other artists and also like producers, mainly like producers who are like down to like be in that vibe because I feel like a lot of and like I've been really lucky to have found a lot of those people, but a lot of producers who are like doing the folk stuff, like they just like I'll suggest, you know, any kind of like synth and they're like, no, like this is not what this is. And then like on the other hand, like pop producers, like they don't like really get the folk sensibilities. So I'm still looking, but I'll let you
Yeah.
know.
Nice. Has most of the songs you've made, have you produced them or have you worked with other producers?
Yeah, so before the EP, I produced everything, and then on this EP, there's two songs, Montana Riverbeds and Altitude Sickness that I produced, and then EDM and Big Bear and Prairie Eyes I like co-produced, and then Big Sky and Let Me Down are both like I didn't do production on.
Nice.
Wait, I'm just
Yeah,
curious.
yeah.
Like this is separate, but I'm just curious, like, because I'm just like I love pop music so much. Like, who do you guys what are you into right now? What are you listening to?
I mean, we both, as you can see, really
Tate,
like
yeah.
Tate.
Uh-huh.
Um, I've actually kind of been listening to like Jenny and Lisa quite a bit.
Totally,
I've
yeah.
I'd never really ventured into K-pop much, but I've kind of started to a little bit. Um,
Totally. I've been having the same thing with K-pop. Like their solo projects are like the first thing that has really
yeah,
like caught my attention.
Mhm.
and like seeing their like clips from concerts like really makes me want to go. It just looks like epic.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I love the Tate project is probably like my favorite pop album
Yeah.
in a long time, honestly.
Yeah.
Every day for me, it's on repeat from the moment
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wake up.
I think I like burnt out or like when it first came out, I listened to it like constantly and I have like
Mhm.
straight guy roommates and like I got them all hooked on like they're always in the car blasting Tate now, which I love. But
Perfect.
anyway,
Mhm.
Is there like anything else about your music that you wanna share?
one thing I was just striving for on the CP was to make sure that the hooks were strong. So I hope people can just like throw the songs on and not listen too hard and still resonate with the vibes.
Yeah, I'm liking it so far. So yeah, I
Thank
think
you.
it's I think people are gonna like it. Well, thank you for chatting with us. We're excited to see what you're working on in the future, and I think people are gonna like this EP.
Sweet.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. It's been
Of
so awesome to
course.
chat.
Yeah. Thank you so much, August, for chatting with us. Everyone, make
Mhm.
sure you go listen to his EP, Venison Forever, and check out all of his other music. And stay tuned for what he's working on.
Yes, we're so excited. And thanks for tuning into another episode of Little Pop Stars Podcast.
Something existential in the way that I'm falling for you. It's my first time doing this too.